I bet you thought Pachio-kun only did pachinko. Well, he's branching out now, and I kind of wish he had stuck to pachinko. Pachio-kun is the anthropomorphic pachinko ball that's the mascot for Coconuts Japan, and so far we've seen 2 of his pachinko games. But Coconuts like to spread out to all forms of gambling. So for American Dream, Pachio-kun heads to the United States and takes up the slots. And that's something important to mention right up front. American Dream is solely a slot machine game. There's no other forms of gambling, no other casino games, just slots. And that meant that this game just about put me to sleep. I'm not a big gambler to begin with, and it probably helps me that most casinos these days are just giant parlors of slot machines. There's no skill, strategy, or even gameplay to the slots. Your money goes in, and the machine just tells you if you won or lost. I know people like the thrill of possibly getting some money out of them, but I have to have something more than just a random determination if I get that money or not. And the thing about slot machines in video games is that they are the loosest slots in town. The payout rate is inevitably in the player's favor, because keeping the odds realistic would make them even more boring than they already are. So they're not even good representations of slot machines. American Dream has Pachio-kun dropped off in the wilds of Brooklyn, and his first goal is to take the $1,000 that he arrived with and turn it into $10,000. So you go into one of the casinos in the area, and sometimes you have to locate an item on the map to get into it first. Then in the casino, there's multiple rooms where the chips have different values. On the far left side, you can hit up and down to choose which room you're going to play in, go buy some chips, and then hit one of the 3 slot machines in that area. One point in American Dream's favor is that there is a pretty big variety of machines. You've got single line payout, you've got that crisscross payout, there's machines with bonus modes, machines with a special jackpot. So that's something that does make it play a bit more like an actual casino. In fact, if you didn't want to play the adventure mode, you can choose simulation mode, and it's just one casino. When you're done with a machine, usually because you've hit the big jackpot and you're ready to move on to the next area, you can talk to the teller, and cashing in your chips kicks you out of the casino. Once you've earned your $10,000, you go back to the helipad, and they'll fly you to the burnt-out hellscape that is the Bronx. There you have to earn $1 million. At the casino teller, you can also get a password so that you can continue your game where you left off at. There's a pretty basic strategy here. Go into the room where you can buy 100 tokens. That should give you enough runway. I never dip below 50 tokens before I hit it big, but you'll want some safety margin. Then go to a machine, and always put in 3 tokens before you pull the handle. You always bet the maximum because it'll always improve your expected return. Then hit down to pull the handle, see what comes up, and repeat until you win enough to move up to the next tier. If somehow you manage to run out of cash, Pachio-kun will be destitute on the streets of New York. And that is literally everything to American Dream. It's just slot machines. And unfortunately, this is far from the only slot machine game that Coconuts Japan will release. They've got an entire series of them, including one that was released on the Famicom in 1994. So these games are going to be with us for a long while. Gambling games are right down there with sports games in terms of desirability. And the best thing I can say about American Dream is, it's not as bad as it could have been.